What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're adding some more performance mods to the Type R. We got the Sirimoto Flex Fuel kit getting installed today. I was so excited. I have already started, so I apologize, but I am going to retrace all of my steps starting right now. So first thing I went ahead and did was remove the battery tray. Went ahead and disconnected the low pressure line that comes from the low pressure fuel pump. Under here, there's a quick disconnect, so you just push down on this white clip here that comes up and turns over. You disconnect this one line here that goes to the E85 sensor, and the bracket is going to mount up right here to this stud coming off of the firewall. Then they'll give you a replacement line here that follows down back to the low pressure fuel pump. Then moving on from the original standpoint, the old fuel line that gets connected here runs down into these clips right here. Let me get a light so I can show you guys. This clip right there, right where I'm pointing at, clips there, and then there's another clip right there, and it goes into the high pressure fuel pump here, right here at this connect. And you're also going to have another white clip just like that one here. That's pretty much everything I've done so far. Along with that, I think the very first thing that I did besides the battery was disconnect the ECT sensor down at the bottom of the radiator. You can see the plug right there where it's unplugged. Right there, excuse me. I'll show you guys once I go ahead and raise the car up. So I'm going to go ahead and install the white clip again. Again, just tuck it over like that, and then you're just going to push it down over, swing that around. Pretty much it. It's just a preventative measure to make sure this doesn't go anywhere and the fuel line doesn't come off. So that's going to be that there. Then I believe the next step is to run the new harness. Moving on, we have a few more items here. I believe this is the harness we're going to be running. This is pretty much the box that it came in. Figured I'd show you guys this as well. Pretty cool. Thanks for the support, Sirimoto. Performance with style and ease. Sirimoto on Instagram right there. It's pretty dope. So here is the harness we're gonna put in. I'm gonna go ahead and unravel it. So these two items here, you're gonna have a ground along with a fuse. Two fuses there. So this is gonna go to the fuse box, and then I believe there's a 10 mil under the dash that's gonna provide our ground. So these will be inside the car, and then the rest of the harness will be outside. I believe one of these plugs goes to the sensor and the ECT. All right, so next up is gonna be up under the dash. See, I have the harness out, as well as the ground and a fuse panel there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this 10 amp fuse here, right in the middle there, the sixth one, along with the ground that's right there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put this. We'll remove that fuse and then put that ground. All right, so I went ahead and got that plugged in. As you can see there, fuse is in, ground is secured. So now we have all this extra wire. I'm gonna go ahead and start zip tying, securing it up to the rest of the vehicle harness. And then we're gonna have to push it through this grommet here, this insulator, and the firewall, and push it through so we can get it into the engine bay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and I'll follow up with you guys once I'm finished. Quick update, I stand corrected. The gray connector is going to go to our gauge that's going to sit inside the car. So I'm going to try and finesse this as best as possible up between these panels, because we're going to have the gauge sitting up in the center console, and then the black one is the connector we have to push through. This one's going to go to the ECT sensor that we could disconnected. So I think for right now, I pretty much have the location where the connector is going to be. I'm going to leave it like that for now until we go ahead and get the gauge installed. That way I don't cut myself short on this wire, and I don't have too much slack. So I want everything installed properly the way I want it. That way I'm going to go back and tuck all the wires and make sure there's no slack, like I said, or I'm not tugging on the wire too much. So now let's get back to running the harness back through the firewall. Zip tie on the connector, and now we're gonna push that through. All right, we got the connector through after 20 minutes of trying. Now we gotta run this along with the rest of the harness down to the ECT sensor. All right, so I got two co-workers here helping, Justin and Marcus. Marcus is leaving, so he's no longer a co-worker.
That's crazy.
But this is the ECT sensor that I unplugged in the beginning. It was easier to show you guys from the bottom, so that's that. And then the connector that comes in the harness is pretty much just gonna plug into that. We ran the new wire. I'll show you guys when we lower the car back down up top. But right now we have it down here. We're gonna go ahead and plug it in and then zip tie the rest of that. All right guys, so quick update here. We're back now on the top side of the car. I'm just gonna show you real quick how we ran the one wire down to the ECT. See, it came through the firewall there. We ran it under the battery tread, zip tied to this harness here, zip tied to the transmission. There's a transmission hole down there. Moving on, and then you can see down there, once I go ahead and raise the car back up one more time, I'll show you the finished product. Moving on, we're gonna go ahead and connect the harness into the sensor, run those wires, and then we're gonna go back in through the firewall, which is this black cable here. So once you go ahead and get that through, obviously come back through the same portion, connect this gray harness that was in previously already, and then we have the gauge here. The kit that the gauge comes in with these pods and stuff, I'm not sure really how any of this stuff is going to work because the gauge barely fits in here as it is. So I'm going to come up with something, see if we can better secure that, but for now we're going to go ahead and continue on this wiring. All right, so we finished running the wire that goes from the actual E85 sensor into the car, zip tied right here. We left some play here because obviously the engine rocks back and forth, so we don't want it to be too snug. So I'm gonna go ahead and snip this. Moving on inside the car now. I'll show you guys the progress so far in here. You can see up in there, I still have to snip these zip ties as well. Tied there. These two wires right here are gonna be fine. The clutch pedal obviously moves there. Nothing else is moving up here, so it should be good to go there. I have it zip tied there. Then I'm leaving the rest of this loose right now as I try to figure out what we're gonna do with the gauge. But for right now, I think we might just leave this gauge chilling until I figure out what some other people have done, unless I come up with something in the next few minutes. Quick update, battery's back in, the rest of the car is back together. We got the charger on it. Moving on inside the car, got the E85 ready for after we tune it. Still have to tuck everything, but you can see the gauge is working. Home invention, we just used some Velcroed it to the side. Looks pretty good if you ask me. You can barely see the Velcro, so I think we're gonna stick with that for now. Maybe find a more permanent solution eventually, but for right now that looks good and I'm happy with it. Now we're gonna go ahead and find the tune. I have the laptop up. All right, so I went ahead and found the tune we're gonna run. It was a minimum of 93 octane E0 through E80 compatible, and then compatible as well with stock downpipe or a aftermarket downpipe. So that's flashing now. Once that's buttoned up and everything's good, we'll go ahead and tighten up the wiring inside the car. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting everything back together here, as well as start cleaning up. One more thing I want to show you guys before I go ahead and put this panel back up. I did find a little rubber piece to put over the sensor and the radiator. We don't get any corrosion or anything in there for any further issues. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this back up. Alright, so the car finished receiving the flash, finished tuning. This is the tune we are going to run for now. I went ahead and finished flashing it, but we got a bunch of lights on the dash. Looks like a Christmas tree because the battery was disconnected. So we just got to grab it a few times, get all the systems rebooted, and we should be good to go. Follow up with you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, here she is. She's all buttoned up, no more lights on the dash. Wires are pretty much tucked away. I'm going to figure out what to do with that for now, but everything else looks good. Went ahead and put some E85 in. We're currently sitting at 10.9. Once we start driving, start mixing in some of that E85 and 93, we'll see that number start to climb. So literally after that last clip, told you guys it was at 10. Literally walked away for a few minutes, now it's back. You can see there we're at 22 and climbing. All right guys, so I am on my way home now. Pretty late day, it's now 8:50. We just finished up. You can see there we are down to about 19.5. That was pretty quick. They do say 85 burns pretty fast, so I can attest to that. It's pretty good so far. I don't notice any huge power gains yet. Maybe I didn't put enough E85 in. They say target areas anywhere from 25 to 30. I do still have more E85. I left it at my job. Obviously I didn't want to carry it in the car with me. So I'll continue on my way home, keep an eye on this gate. Everything else looks good though. And again, it is raining out. It's a pretty crappy day out. I don't want to floor it, so to speak. All right, we're back. This install and vlog has stretched over 4 days now. It is the 4th day. I'm gonna go get some more E85 and then we're gonna wash the Type R today. So let's get right into it. All right, y'all, we're here getting some E85 for the Type R. I'm gonna go ahead and put 3 gallons in right now of E85. I'm at half a tank right now, so 3 gallons should put me about 3/4, and then the rest of it I'm gonna go ahead and fill up with 93. We'll go ahead and see what concentrate we're sitting at once we go ahead and finish up here. All right guys, so we went ahead and finished filling up. Took about 3 gallons of each, so 3 gallons is 85, 3 gallons is 93, and now we are sitting perfect at around 33. This thing rips. So we made it to Zay's house now. This is where we're gonna be watching the cars, the lineup again, Hellcat. We got Shorty over there, Type R, nice and clean. Some dirt bikes wilding out. And then we got Zay's Mustang here. We got the whole squad pulled up, 340. Hellcat, Type R, all cleaned up. And now the real question is it actually a mod without a sticker? So we're gonna go ahead and throw this on. That thing right there.
I say right there, solid. That looks good. Question is, are you gonna be able to do it once you take that sticker off? See now, don't mess up now. You mess up now, you're done.
Obviously, right there.
Looks good to me. Oh my god, you messed it up. Yeah, you messed it up, bro.
Oh my god, yo.
Right there, 5 horsepower. Guaranteed.
Alright, so now we have officially went flex fuel. Now that the sticker's on.
It's not official if I don't got the sticker.
Alright, so that's going to go ahead and wrap up this vlog and install. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you stuck around this far in the video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more content with Honda Day coming up in a few weeks. Peace out.